There's a bunch of crazy stories written by the Brothers Grimm. And now you're gonna learn all about them, listening to the Brothers Grimm.
Students and scholars, friends and relations, welcome to the Brothers Grimm podcast, a podcast in which we take a quick jaunt through the primary work of the Brothers Grimm. Their collection of fairy tales collected in the 1800s in Germany, including this week's tale, story number 64, The Golden Goose. My name is Phil.
And my name is Mike.
Mike, how are you now?
I think I'm doing all right. We got a little freakiness in our house, but we're rewatching Yellow Jackets with the 14-year-old who is totally hooked, but also doesn't want to go to bed alone anymore.
Okay.
So it's like the other night decided like, all right, I need to take a break because I feel very paranoid all the time. And then like last night was like, all right, no, that's 24 hours is fine. Let's watch another one. So we're a few into season 2 now, and I am eagerly awaiting season 3. But it has nothing to do with a Golden Goose. How are you?
Decent enough, settling in, girding my loins for a few years of, I'm guessing, having to fight Nazis, which thank you, greatest generation, for defeating, and I guess no thank you to a good chunk of the baby boomers for wondering if fighting them in the first place was a mistake. But we have years to talk about that, so let's talk about something that the radical right really hates, which is sustainable agriculture and the Golden Goose. So, kind of a famous one, expression-wise anyways. This the goose that laid the golden eggs, or anything else similar.
Yeah, it's funny. I think at one point, many episodes ago, I was mentioning that story offhandedly about finding the golden goose and then being so wanting to get all the gold now, so that you cut open the goose and there's nothing in there. Yeah. Now you're left with nothing.
Nary a nugget.
Yeah, this one didn't go where I thought it was going to go.
There were indeed some turns. It's
just a couple.
Do you have a grade?
It was tough. I think overall I liked it.
Okay.
It was goofy. It had a little bit of slapstick. I went with an A-.
Oh, okay. I kind of went C-ish, maybe B.
Interesting.
I say some of the imagery was neat. One imagery was neat. Without giving away any spoilers, one, what is it, Katamari Damacy?
That's what I was thinking too.
Which again, we'll get into that in a little bit. But that I liked. I didn't know if that was enough to boost it. Maybe it will. Then if you're going to go with A-, maybe I'll bump up from C to a B, and that'll be
A- is not a hill that I'm looking to die on by any means. We can reevaluate after we've talked about it a bit.
Yeah, my thought is like the image that I like, and which we will get into, doesn't actually connect in any real way to the rest of the story. And we've also been on a run of stories with 3 brothers, and the youngest is their idiot brother, and treated as an idiot generally just for being decent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but
the least clever, but also the only decent human being.
Yeah. I digress. Mike, would you be so very kind as to walk us through the plot of story number 64, The Golden Goose?
I would love to. You might have heard this one before, but there was once a man with 3 sons. In this case, the youngest is an idiot called Dumbling, which I think we've seen this before. It's an alternate name for Simpleton, or what are the other names we've seen?
Douchebag, fuckface,
jackass, dummy,
jackass, McDouche,
Simpleton. And he is the butt. Like, they don't even pull punches in this. He's the butt of every joke in the family. Everybody makes fun of him. That's his only point of existence. Anyway, one day the oldest son wants to go out and chop wood in the forest. Mom gives him a sweet cake and a bottle of wine in case he gets hungry or thirsty. Along the way, he meets a little old man with gray hair. He asks him for a bit of cake and wine. He's very hungry, very thirsty. Oldest son says if he does that, then he'll have none for himself, and tells him to fuck off. So off the kid goes, finds the tree he wants to cut down, and as he's chopping, he slips and buries the axe in his arm. Runs off home to get bandaged up, and we're led to believe the little old man caused it. Not clear exactly how or why. Well, why, obviously.
Magic.
So we repeat with the middle son, unsurprisingly. So he goes a chopping, and this one he buries the axe in his leg. Needs to be carried home. So Dumbling begs his father to let him go chop wood. Looks like such fun. Father says no.
That's some Tom Sawyer nonsense right there, but go on.
Father says no, he doesn't understand how it works. His older, wiser brothers have already hurt themselves enough. There's no point in him doing it. Won't drop it. So finally Dad says, fine, go do it. At least you'll learn by hurting yourself. Then you'll learn a valuable lesson. So Mom gives him a cake made with water instead of milk that was cooked in the ashes and a bottle of sour beer. No sweet cake and wine for this guy. Off Dumpling goes, and as the others before, he comes across the old man, asks him for a bite of cake and something to drink. Dumpling says all he has is cinder cake and sour beer, but he's happy to share that. So lo and behold, they sit down to snack, and they've magically become sweet cake and good wine. The little old man says that because Dumpling is good of heart and willing to share, he'll give him some good luck. So he points him to a certain tree, says there's a surprise under that if you cut it down. So the man leaves, Dumpling chops down that tree and finds a golden goose under it. He scoops that up and heads for home, but it's getting dark. Stops in at an inn for the night. The innkeeper has 3 daughters, and they all want a feather from the golden goose, so they wait until he's out of sight. Oldest one grabs the wing, but is instead just sticks to the goose. Can't get her hand off. Second sister comes along, she touches the first one, she's stuck fast to her. The youngest one now feels left out, kind of the dumbass also. Touches the middle one, and now they're all stuck to the goose. They have to wait till morning. Next morning, Dumpling, in perfect character, just grabs the goose and heads out, not either noticing or caring about the 3 girls now in tow. They're crossing a field. The parson meets them and chides the girls for chasing a boy. So unscrupulously. He grabs the youngest's hand, tries to pull her away, and now he's stuck fast to her. The sexton comes across them, reminds the pastor they have a baptism that day, tries to grab at him, now he's stuck. The whole lot comes across 2 field workers. Parson calls out to them for help. They reach out, and now they're stuck fast, the whole train. So now there's 7 of them. Soon after that, Dumpling comes to a city where the king has a challenge that whoever can make his daughter laugh, she's a very dour princess, whoever can make her laugh gets to keep her, as we do with princesses. So Dumpling just directs the whole train into the castle, and as soon as they all come in, bumbling across each other, Princess laughs heartily. She can't stop laughing. It's the funniest thing she's ever seen. She and Dumpling are married on the spot. Eventually the king dies. Dumpling inherits the kingdom, and then he and the daughter live happily ever after. The end. So as I said, this is not where I thought the story was going to go. I was expecting something similar to cut open the golden goose, find nothing, and then now you have nothing.
Yeah, or the brothers are like, I'm jealous. I will cut off that goose.
Wow, yeah.
And then, and then everyone was sort of, like I said, a bunch of ATU types in here.
Yeah.
Or just story types in general. I'm not even going to name them. Like, third dumb brother seems to be one we've hit on a bunch lately. Disguised magic helper who gives you a fairy gift. And the princess prize.
Yeah.
With you get the princess if you do an impossible task. But this particular impossible task is also one of the almost something we've seen a bunch too, which is just make this girl laugh. And I get that.
Yeah, that's one too.
That's a decent enough moral. I think that actually kind of gets into my moral. I'm not sure if you had a moral, but I can tell you mine.
Oh, I mean, I think it's just be nice, share your shit, be earnest, and you'll be rewarded. It's pretty simplistic. You typically have funnier and more clever morals.
I don't know if I'm more clever. I think this one it takes that's what they were going at. But this one is just like, bros, or I guess ladies too. If you can make this girl laugh, she's yours, man. This Roger Rabbit nonsense, but it works. For I am not the most handsome man in the history of the world.
Is that how you got your wife?
Yes.
Oh.
It's, I think, one of the few ways that I've gotten most of the people that I have either dated or the one that I did end up marrying and then having a child with.
Nice. I just have to fall back on my good looks. I'm not funny.
Well, you're good.
That's a joke. I am not a great looking dude.
Oh.
I'm not fishing for compliments.
By the way, friends and relations, not to say that Mike and I are not ugly by any stretch of the imagination. I think we're beardy and pretty decent looking for New England, Massachusetts.
We're fair.
Sort of German-Irish mix, whatever the hell we all are.
Yeah.
I have 2 things, really.
All right. What do you got?
Okay. The princess laughs. That's a common thing we've seen a bunch of times.
Yeah.
It's neat imagery, but it's not very funny. Like, she's just,
Yeah, it's just bumbling and comical, I guess.
Yeah,
I think it's in our version. It's not as verbose. There are other versions I saw where there's a whole back and forth, and like the party of 7 who are sort of in tow on the goose are all sort of upset by the fact that they're being laughed at, and then like that makes everybody laugh even more. And then there are more sort of subtle and explanatory versions.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
But still, I think it's just sort of goofy slapstick.
I understand that. Maybe I've just seen a lot of good slapstick in my day. Maybe this princess has never seen nothing. She's like, oh my.
She needs to watch Billy Madison.
Yeah. Well, maybe she does.
That is a classic. Come on.
Yeah. You know what? I will say this. I have not seen that movie in quite a long time, so I don't know if it holds up. If there's things that if I went back to it and revisited.
Oh, it does not hold up.
Maybe I'll watch Billy Madison for the first time and maybe try and do it sober while I have 6 more days of full sobriety.
Oh, nice. Dry January?
Dry January. And I might, well, we'll see. I have to go to Madison, Wisconsin for work. Remote work, where we're going to make you come into the office once a year. It's like, okay, but the office is in Wisconsin in the middle of winter. It's like, okay, well. But I'm excited about it, but I assume we'll have a couple of drinks at the bar.
Or just keep going.
I think, well, I might do that. I kind of want to just have like a year or two. And then, I think I might do the rest of the month kind of dry, really, really cut back because I get so much done.
Yeah.
I get so much more done sober. Once I get past the initial, I'm tired. And you stop drinking, you get really tired, or at least
very tired, and nothing's fun.
Nothing's fun. And there's this weird drunkenness thing that you can do where like I will clean the house.
I was just saying this to Mo. Like, one of the things I miss is just having that power to open up another bottle of wine when she goes to bed and just like spend an hour and a half cleaning the kitchen and like doing all this shit. And then like not healthy, but the energy was there. And now I'm just like 10:30 rolls around. I'm like, oh, I'm toast.
No, it's so weird. Yeah, there was a certain level of drunkenness that I would get to where same thing. Yeah. I would clean the kitchen. I would clean the living room. I'd pick everything up. I'd wipe down all the counters and just, I don't know what it was. And I didn't mind doing it. And I still have to do it now. So it's just, I'm really annoyed by it. And I don't do as good a job.
See, I hit the jackpot. My oldest has to be up at 5:30 for school now. And so my wife gets up with the oldest at 5:30 and just does the kitchen, and now is in like a routine and likes to do it. And I'm like, okay, you can have it. You can have it now.
Then clean the kitchen you shall. You're welcome.
I'll cook. You got a deal.
Here's the thing. Well, yeah. So maybe I'll have a couple of drinks in the beginning of February, see how I feel, but then do a dry February as well. I was just fucking with you. I know you were just fucking with me.
Easy for me to say because that's what I did.
No, I understand that, but I also realize like I have way more creative energy when I don't drink. Like books coming out, songs getting recorded. I'm learning the banjo.
Damn. Yeah. I'm learning backgammon.
Okay.
That was my New Year's resolution. Learn how to play backgammon and go to the donut shop less.
My New Year's resolution was to make myself love the dog, which is actually working. So nice. Now whenever the dog started barking, I now just go and I give the dog a hug. And I say, you're going to be okay. You guys are so cute little girl. It's going to be okay. And then I like overdid it purposefully, but realized that when she was barking, she was just terrified because she's trembling. And so then I started feeling bad for her. And then I genuinely was enjoying the hugs and and then now she comes and snuggles next to me all the time. And so now it only took like a month.
Oh, that's very sweet.
It is very sweet. So I'm very happy about that. I also didn't want the kid to see me being wildly annoyed by the dog constantly. I wanted him to just see me be nice to this dog because he is starting to pick up fucking everything.
Yeah.
I am starting to get the idea, by the way, that there was a brother to Jacob and Wilhelm. At least one other. And the only famous other one was Ludwig Grimm, a painter. Maybe it was him. Maybe it was an idiot painter brother of theirs who's crazy talented and just kept having the dumbest luck. Or alternatively, it was one of the other 5 siblings who aren't even bothered to be named.
I didn't realize there were more. Familiar.
Yeah. But just, one of their brothers, they tried and tried, just like no matter what they did, it's just like, okay, now Johann, I'm gonna give you some money. You just all you need to do is go down to the store, buy meat. Okay, just take this money, go down to the store, you buy meat for yourself for the next week, and then okay. Well, what happened? A duck stole it.
I bought a cow.
I bought a cow, except the cow was made of wood, and then the duck stole the rest of my money. Damn it, Johann.
You had one job.
I'm not sure that that's the case, but I'm feeling like, yeah.
It does fit a pattern, I will say.
Maybe that's the moral, right? That Jacob and Wilhelm felt they were the smart ones, but had shit luck all the time. Meanwhile, their scamp little brother, and maybe we're supposed to be rooting for the older brothers in all these stories. Just like
yeah, maybe
chopped wood and it hurt his leg while I was doing it. Does you feel bad for that guy?
Yeah.
Do you have any other notes?
I do. I have one big question.
Okay.
What the hell happened to the goose and the three sisters and the parson and the sexton and the two field workers?
Yeah, they just...
Do they still live in the castle?
This is what I was... Yeah, are they still all connected? This is what I said earlier. I said, like, I like that image. I like the Katamari Damacy?
Yeah.
For anyone listening that doesn't know what that is a video game in which you start as like a ping pong ball or a bowling ball or something like that. You roll around the town, picking up, and everything you touch.
Yeah, you're like a big glue ball, yeah.
Yeah, and then so eventually you're picking up houses and tanks and cars and things like that. So you're in this giant ball, and they like that. So that's the one kind of neat image thing that they have in it, but it's not connected to anything else. We don't even know if the they continue using the Golden Goose or whatever.
Right.
Just like they don't. He's there. Suddenly he made the princess laugh, and they're married for a while.
What do you think he wanted out of life?
The same thing we all want: love, to be loved.
Yeah, he got it, I guess.
To love maybe. And to be loved in return.
Well, he got a woman that was promised to him. You know what? I thought I had a note. Like good for Dumbling. His family was a bunch of assholes from the top down. But I didn't realize
cake, that's rough.
Yeah.
Just, you know what? I'll just throw a bunch of dough in the ashes for you. Right. It'll cook. Eat it.
It's not even milk. It's just bread. Cake made with water. It's
sour bread, sour beer, which is actually a little bit more expensive than regular beer.
Right. Yeah. It's become a delicacy. It's like lobster now. But he begged and begged to go out chop wood, and the dad was like, "No, you're just gonna hurt yourself. Your brothers already did that, and they're even smarter than you are." And he's like, "Please, please, please." And he's like, "All right, fine. At least I learned a lesson from getting hurt." And he goes out to chop wood, and he never comes back.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, problem solved."
Well, yeah, we told them.
Until the local king starts raising their taxes, and then they find out that it's Dumbling.
Oh,
surprise! The little old man too. Did he anticipate the whole thing? Like, did he know that greedy people were going to get stuck to the goose?
I have no idea. I mean, he certainly didn't warn him.
Right.
He's just like, you'll find a good reward if you chop down that tree over there. And the reward is like, okay, well, you can get a little money, but also it's got this curse.
Right. Yeah.
Bizarre fucking curse on it.
But maybe he's clearly magical. Maybe he foresaw the whole situation and was like, oh, this is going to play out pretty interestingly.
Oh yeah, no, you just carry the duck around with you. Don't worry about it. And it's like, well, thank you, old man. He's like, no problem.
Chaotic good, as we often see here. So at the top, we were talking grades. I said I gave it an A-, but it's not a hill to die on. Where were you, like C+ or so?
Yeah, C+ or so. But I'm willing to meet in the middle if you want.
Yeah, I'm totally fine coming down to a B or even a B-.
Let's call it a B. Like I said, like it's fun. It's just nothing connects to anything else.
Yeah. I think I was trailing on the humorous image of the seven plus the goose plus Dumbling all just wandering around, and like the way they describe it is he's just walking erratically, not to be funny, but just because he's an idiot. So they just had to follow him. There wasn't enough there otherwise. Although I mean, I do like that he just kind of just stumbles his way into fortune in a kingdom.
Yeah,
as Simpleton usually does.
Yeah, that's the 30th time we've seen that. It happens constantly.
Yeah. Someone
on SNL had this thing once where they said it was there's sketches that are genuinely funny, and then there's sketches where the wig is funny. Apparently John Mulaney and Hader, whoever was telling me this story, I forget exactly, but they would read a sketch and just be like, "Oof, Wig City." If it was that, and that's all this is. That's the one thing. It's just
yeah,
and certainly it's what do you find funny? If you find Will Ferrell doing the cheerleaders funny,
Yeah.
then great, because they're going to do 17 of those in the 4 years or whatever that Ferrell was on. And nothing against Will Ferrell. Genius, and I like his movies a lot, but I did not find the cheerleader sketch particularly good. Do you have any more notes?
I don't.
All I have left then is a pitch. I can go through that if you want.
Yeah, do please.
Okay. And it's wildly removed from the story. So
good.
Similar to how the story works in and of itself, and how this particular podcast is going. But
tell me a story.
Okay. End of the day, Golden Goose represents a limited resource, and one which, if cared for, could be unlimited, but greed's going to get in the way, is the idea, even though that's not really what happens in this story. But So I'm going to take you back. We'll set this into the Mediterranean, 2nd century BC-ish.
Ooh.
West of Egypt and in what is now Libya. Roman city of Cyrene, it was called. It was an ancient Greek colony, super rich, and usually caught in the middle of various dynasties and empires near it and around the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
But everyone was going after this one city. And one of the reasons for the city's importance was siliphium, which was a plant, and supposedly the basis for a Bible story. Bible doesn't exactly mention abortion except for once, which is in Numbers 5:21. And the only thing it really talks about is it gives you instructions on how to do it.
Oh, funny that.
Abortion. and for why. If you think your woman has been unfaithful, what you do is you give her, quote, bitter water. And if she was cheating on you and was pregnant, she would miscarry. And so the baby's aborted now. And, and then she cheated on you. If it was yours. If you hadn't been the one that, well, if you you didn't knock her up, there's your proof. But if nothing of note happens, she clearly wasn't cheating on you. So bitter water is supposedly some sort of tea or something made from the plant, which was of siliphium, which was a known abortifacient.
So just surprise miscarriage.
This'll prove it. It was so good at apparently Cyrene's chief export. They became really wealthy dealing it, but then sometime in mid 2nd century, the plant, which had a very narrow band of land which it could grow, like 125 miles by 35 miles. People brought the plant all over the Mediterranean. You could plant the seeds, but either nothing would grow or the plant wouldn't bear fruit or the seeds. You couldn't cultivate it so that you could get the medicine that you wanted. And the Romans really liked the medicine because you could give it to your woman and no baby. I don't want a baby right now. This'll take care of things quick. So they harvested it until it became the first plant in recorded history to go extinct.
Wow.
Pretty sure it existed because everyone talks about it.
This sounds very Roman.
Yeah. Theophrastus of Lesbos wrote about it. Nero wrote about it. All these people wrote about it. They're like, oh, yeah, that stuff's great. And they all wrote about how weird that you can't find it anywhere else and weird that it doesn't grow anywhere else. But do we love this Plan B. So that's the backstory. And I'd love to tell the story about the Romans coming in, demanding more of it. And the story follows a group of women who are trying to save this last bag of seeds. No one is quite sure where to plant. The Romans certainly don't, but the bag of seeds can only work there. The Romans don't care, though. They just know it's the most valuable bag of seeds on earth. They're hiding and everyone's running around. Eventually, Romans steal the bag. Won't work anywhere else, though. So whatever. But maybe and then one woman just hid one seed somewhere. We end on the story with her sneaking out into the wild to plant it.
Neat.
A lot of backstory there for this one weird little thing, again, not really all that close. But I like the idea of just what is this? What is the story now that we've seen a bunch of these Golden Goose stories? And I think it is, weirdly enough, without them even knowing the term, it is sustainable agriculture.
Yeah.
And that is kind of all that I have. Do you have anything else?
I don't.
Well, if you don't have anything else and I don't have anything else, I think we can probably call it. Mike, are there places where people can find us if they were looking for us? You know what? It's funny you mention it. There are. We can be reached at brothersdimpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Blue Sky at Brothers Dim. And now suddenly all of this can be found on brothersdim.com. Wonderful. Well, I would love to remind everyone listening to subscribe to us if you're listening to our nonsense. Please share and enjoy the Brothers Dim with all of your friends. And to all of our friends and relations, thank you for listening. Sleep tight, and we will see you next time. See you next time.